All right, let's talk about one of the most game-changing personal finance books ever written, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book, it completely flipped the script on how millions of people think about money. So in this explainer, we're going to break down its most powerful core lessons. You know, the whole book kicks off with this massive question, one that I'm sure has crossed your mind. Why is it that some people can work their fingers to the bone their entire lives and have nothing to show for it, while others just seem to get rich, almost without trying? Is it just luck, a fancy degree, or is it something else? A totally different way of thinking that they just don't teach us in school? For the author, the answer came from having two dads with completely opposite philosophies. His real dad, who he calls his poor dad, was brilliant, highly educated, but always struggled with money. Then there was his best friend's dad, the rich dad, who never even finished 8th grade, but ended up one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. The difference is just massive. One path is about playing it safe, finding a secure job. The other is about owning the whole game. So how did he learn this stuff? It wasn't in a classroom, I'll tell you that. It was through a series of really tough but powerful lessons that started when he was just a kid, 9 years old to be exact. It all started with a job. Rich Dad hired Robert and his friend Mike to work in one of his stores for, get this, 10 cents an hour. Now, even back in the 1950s, that was next to nothing. The work was mind-numbing, just dusting cans for hours. And after a few weeks of this, Robert was frustrated, he was angry, and he was totally ready to quit. And that's exactly what Rich Dad was waiting for. That's when he dropped the first and maybe the most important lesson of all. He explained that he wanted Robert to get angry. He wanted him to feel the trap of working for a measly paycheck. The real lesson was this: stop chasing a wage, start looking for opportunities. You've got to stop working for money and figure out how to make money work for you. To really drive the point home, Rich Dad then made them work for free. Now, with no paycheck to rely on, they had to use their brains, and they spotted an opportunity. They noticed the store was just tossing out old comic books, so they asked if they could have them, set up a little library in a basement, and charged other kids 10 cents to come in and read. And just like that, they were making real money, even when they weren't there. It was their very first taste of passive income. Okay, so that first lesson is the key to unlocking the next huge concept in the book, this trap that keeps most people stuck their whole lives. Rich Dad had a name for it: the rat race.
It's a cycle that probably sounds way too familiar to a lot of us. It starts the same way. Every single morning, the alarm goes off and the pattern begins.
You go to a job, maybe one you don't even like that much, trading your precious time, your life energy, all for a paycheck? And the second that paycheck hits your account, poof, it's gone. Out the door to pay the mortgage, the car loan, the credit cards, and then the next morning, it all starts over again. Now, Rich Dad said this isn't just a financial cycle, it's an emotional one. It's powered by two things. First, there's the fear of not having enough money to pay your bills. That's what gets you out of bed. And second, there's the desire for all the nice things money can buy. That's what makes you spend everything you earn, keeping you stuck on the wheel.
So how in the world do you escape this trap? How do you get off the wheel? Well, according to Rich Dad, it all comes down to understanding one single, incredibly simple rule. This right here is the foundation of everything. First things first, you have to know what an asset is. And forget all the complex, stuffy definitions. Rich Dad's definition is pure common sense. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. Simple as that. Think a rental property that pays you every month, or stocks that pay dividends. And a liability? Well, it's the exact opposite. It's anything that takes money out of your pocket. Your car payment, your credit card debt. And here's the one that gets people. For most, the house you live in is a liability, not an asset. And this is the great divide. This quote just cuts right to the chase. The wealthy spend their lives buying assets. Everybody else, they spend their lives and their money buying liabilities that they think are assets, like a new car or a bigger house that just drains their finances. Let's look at how that actually plays out. For most people, the paycheck comes in and it flows right out again to cover all their expenses and liabilities. But the rich, they play a different game. They focus on their asset column. They use their income to buy things that generate more income. And then they use that income to buy even more assets. You see, it's a cycle that builds on itself. So this idea of building up your assets leads us straight into the next major lesson. You've got to understand the difference between your profession and your business. It's about what you do versus what you own.
This is one of the best stories in the book. The founder of McDonald's, Ray Kroc, was once asked what business he was in, and his answer was a shocker. He said he wasn't in the hamburger business. His business was real estate. See, his profession was selling hamburger franchises, but his real business, the thing that made him wealthy, was owning the incredibly valuable land under every single one of those restaurants. The takeaway here is huge. You have to mind your own business, and your business is your asset column. The strategy is actually pretty straightforward. First, keep your day job. You need that paycheck to live on. But then, and this is the crucial part, you use every extra dollar you have to buy real assets. Not a new TV, not a vacation, an asset. And at the same time, you have to be ruthless about cutting down the liabilities that are sucking your money away. So as we wrap this up, it's pretty clear that these lessons aren't just about financial tricks or stock tips. It's a complete shift in how you look at the world of money. It's a mindset, way more than it is a number in your bank account. This slide really just sums up the whole philosophy, doesn't it? It's about getting your money to work for you. It's about understanding that your financial education is your most valuable asset. You've got to focus on that asset column, work to learn new skills, not just to earn a paycheck. And finally, it's about seeing that money isn't just something you earn, it's something you can create with your mind. And look, if you only take one thing away from this explainer, let it be this. You can have a huge salary and still be broke if you don't know how to manage it. Real wealth isn't about how big your paycheck is. It's about how much of it you keep and put to work for you. So these ideas really challenge us. They challenge us to stop digging ourselves into a financial hole and start building a solid foundation of assets. It forces us to ask that big question. Are we working for money, or is our money working for us? Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. What is the very first asset you can start learning about right now, today?